I think a number of habits have actually evolved with the advent of these smartphones. People want the information instantly. They're no longer willing to wait in terms of going to a place to see it. The information should be available almost instantaneously. That's why people are so addicted to their smartphones that they have to have them on their side all the time. I, for that matter, need a data connection everywhere I go. I feel like a phone is now useless if there is no 3G around it. And that's why Globe has actually gone to the extent of building out a new network that will enable seamless connection of with high-speed data networks almost everywhere in the Philippines. Right? The other, I think it's changed a lot of how we communicate with potential consumers. The old medium used to be print and TV as a way of advertising, but today with mobile devices, and also coupled with information about subscribers and customers, we can actually fine-tune marketing campaigns to individual people and reach them on their handsets, whether it's by email, SMS, or even MMS for that matter. So again, that's something that I think has changed a lot of what people use their phones today. Yes, it definitely has. I think mobile marketing, I think, is a more intelligent form of doing marketing because it's more targeted. In the past, I think one of the issues, and I think it goes to some of your questions in future questions, is what were the things wrong with traditional media today is a lot of the overshooting in terms of the audience, right? When you go into a newspaper ad or a TV program, you get people who are interested and not so interested in the product viewing it, and as a result, there's a lot of wastage in terms of the coverage, in terms of the dissemination of information. Whereas with mobile marketing, it can be a lot more targeted, working with us telcos, and of course with an opt-in from the consumer. They're able to tell us more about themselves, their levels of interest in particular products, their areas of interest, and then we can target advertising directly to suit their interest. And what's interesting is, again, for me, as my own experience is, advertising that comes to me that's relevant to me is not spam, right? It's just not fluff. You know, if it pertains to an area of interest that I really enjoy reading about, or a product I'm interested in buying, I see it as a very big benefit, right? That's why a lot of these portals today, or e-commerce sites with great recommendation engines, actually are very, very helpful. Like, for instance, in Amazon has a fantastic recommendation engine. They couple it with email blasts to my mobile. They can target an interest in gadgets, an interest in electronics. They routinely send me updates on deals, for instance, on particular products that really strike my fancy, and I go to the site and I purchase it. Right? So I think that's how it's really rewritten the rules of how advertising is done. Today, in the short term, it's a complementary form. We ourselves at Globe are using both forms today, but one never knows how it will all evolve, right? I think one of the things that's changing is will the audiences be there in traditional advertising, right? I mean, if you look at kids of today, I guess myself, not that I'm a kid, but my habits, I don't really watch TV a whole lot. I get all my news and information from my tablet and from my handset, right? So on the web primarily, you know. So I either through Twitter for news, you know, the online sites of the newspapers. I have stopped my physical newspaper at home. I hardly watch free-to-air TV. I watch on-demand TV through you know, an iTunes type of subscription or something similar. So again, the habits of the consumer, I think, will dictate whether you will see the demise of traditional print and TV. Right? As I said, you know, any connected person, heavily connected person, has actually already changed the viewing habit. they will have their laptops together with their tablet, together with their smartphones, but the TV as itself, as a free-to-air device, is actually off. So that is really what's going to determine the demise of the traditional media as we know it today. Well, today I guess the advantage for mobile is primarily for smaller businesses that have said in the past cannot afford traditional types of advertising, TV or print for that matter. I guess today, because we can dive into a smaller niche of profiled subscribers more and more, making it affordable for smaller businesses. You don't need to pay the millions to do an ad campaign. You could do an ad campaign of hitting only 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 customers with that specific profile and actually know that they're interested in your product. I think that is what is enabled by mobile advertising. Well, there's a lot, not just with Globe, but with global industry that is happening. I think the most important thing is this parang coverage everywhere concept, where Globe is putting LTE, HSPA+, even Wi-Fi all over the country, which means every person will be connected all the time to the web in some form, and to the cloud. For that matter, so that mobile advertisers can actually reach the people at any point in time. There's also the other intelligence we're putting into the network, where location-based information is also critical and is also going to be available. Meaning, you not only know the person's online, you know where he's online, and so you could actually target delivering that ad or that message to him at the most relevant time. For instance, an example I use is what we do at Globe is when you're a roamer and you're going to go and travel, when you land in a particular country, we know that you've landed, let's say, in Hong Kong, and we would send you the relevant Globe offers for roaming in Hong Kong, right? So it's not spam because it's relevant to you at that point in time once again. And it's not lost upon you at that moment in time. So all of these things about combining location, combining being online all the time, speedy access to the internet, reliable access to the internet, I think will change the way people advertise.